Canada is a member of the G8 along with the USA and UK, and is one of the largest economies in the world. It has a population of 35 million, smaller than the 65 million in the UK and 320 million in the USA, but larger than the 25 million in Australia. Canada uses a parliamentary system, like the UK or Australia, and has no president. Canada's Parliament has two houses: the lower house, the House of Commons, and the upper house, the Senate. Members of the House are often called MPs, or Members of Parliament. Canada's government is led by the Prime Minister, who is usually the leader of the largest party in the House of Commons. The Prime Minister appoints a number of cabinet members, made up of MPs. MPs are directly elected, compared to the senators, who are indirectly appointed. Canada has 10 provinces. These are similar to the states in the US and Australia, but different in some ways from the constituent countries of the United Kingdom. Each province has its own legislature, all of which are single-chamber assemblies. The leader of the government in each province is known as the Premier. Click on the annotation or the link in the show notes for more information on the structural aspects of Canadian politics. As of 2016, Canada has 3 major political parties, as well as 2 minor political parties. The Liberal Party is currently the government. They are centrist and progressive. They are similar to the left wing of the UK Liberal Democrats, the mainstream US Democratic Party, or the right wing of the Australian Labour Party. The Liberals have governed Canada for most of its existence. The party is socially progressive and economically centrist, but at times has made economic policies that could be thought of as social democratic. The Conservative Party is currently the official opposition. They are right-wing. They are similar to the UK Conservative Party, the moderate wing of the US Republican Party, and the left wing of the Australian Liberals. The Conservatives are a merger of 2 right-wing parties, one of which, the PC Party, has traditionally been the only other party to form government, except for the Liberals. The party is a fairly standard right-wing party. The New Democratic Party, or NDP, is the third party. They are pro-Labour and socialist. They are similar to Labour in the UK, to the left wing of the Democratic Party in the US, as well as people like Bernie Sanders, and similar to the left wing of the Australian Labour Party. The NDP has historically been limited to around 10% of the seats in the House, but at times has done far better, and in some provinces has been able to form a provincial government. The party is a fairly standard pro-Labour party. There are also 2 minor parties that have representation in Parliament. The Bloc Québécois is a presence in the province of Quebec. They are a sovereigntist party that would like Quebec to stop being a standard province and to be something more like an independent country. On most issues, the party could be seen as on the left. They can best be compared to the UK parties, the SNP, Plaid, or Sinn Féin. The Green Party is nationwide, but has limited support. The party is very similar in many ways to Green parties elsewhere in the world. However, compared to the UK, USA, and Australia, the Canadian Greens are more right-wing and have eco-capitalist ideas, while they still remain a clearly progressive and left-wing party. For more information on this, as well as the unique relationship between federal and provincial level parties in Canada, click on the annotation or the link in the show note. Canada's geographic demography plays an important role in its politics. Western Canada is different in many ways from the rest of the country. Within the West, British Columbia and the prairies also have differences. Ontario is the largest province in terms of population. All of these areas are overwhelmingly English-speaking. Quebec is Canada's only majority French province. The remaining 4 provinces are known as the Atlantic provinces, which itself can be divided between Newfoundland and the Maritime provinces. The Atlantic is the poorest part of the country, and has roughly 10% of the population. Quebec has roughly 25% of the population. Ontario has roughly 35% of the population and one of the stronger economies in the country. Western Canada has 30% of the population and an economy strongly dependent on natural resources such as oil and gas. Canada has a very high rate of immigration. The largest immigrant groups are South Asian and East Asian. Canada has had a rocky relationship with its First Nation citizens. This group is similar to American Indians or Aborigines in the US or Australia. Canada has 3 territories that are considered a fundamental part of the nation, similar to how Australia views its territories, but different from how the UK or the US views its various territories. Similar to Australia, these territories have self-government similar but not identical to that found in the provinces, and a level of representation both in the House of Commons and the Senate. Lastly, there are some unique terms. In Canada, an electoral area is called a riding. This contrasts with district in the US, division in Australia, and constituency in the United Kingdom. Canada's Prime Minister lives in 24 Sussex. This is contrasted with the US White House and the UK's number 10. For more things unique about Canadian politics, check the links provided. This video is designed to be useful for years to come. As such, the information about political history has been divided into various sub-videos. The links are provided below. I have also created a video for those interested in things from the voter's perspective, showing differences, for example, in how ballots are counted on election night. Please consider supporting this channel through a Patreon donation to keep these videos ad-free.